The treasure of time. Far away from the noisy city, between quiet green hills, there was a small village named Dhimpur. It was peaceful, filled with nature's beauty. But the people of this village had one big problem. They were extremely lazy. Every day, you could hear the same sentence in the air. Why do it today? We'll do it tomorrow. The work isn't going anywhere. At first, it sounded funny, but slowly, this very habit became the village's greatest problem. Crops were planted late. Houses remained broken for months. People woke up early, but instead of working, they sat under trees and relaxed. It felt like laziness flowed in the wind of Dhimpur. In this village lived two close friends, Ram and Shiva. They grew up together, but their nature was completely different. Ram hardworking, punctual, and respectful toward time. His fields were always clean and full of crops. His home looked neat and well maintained. Shiva carefree, lazy, and always postponing work. His field was filled with weeds and his house looked half broken, but he didn't care. Ram often advised him, "Shiva, time is precious. A task done today saves tomorrow's trouble." But Shiva laughed every time and replied, "Relax, I'll do it later." One morning, a trader named Mohanlal came from a nearby town. He bought grains, clothes, and many household items. Standing at the village center, he announced, "I will return in 2 days. Whoever has grains or goods ready to sell, I will buy them at a good price." The moment Ram heard this, he didn't waste a single second. He went straight to his fields, cut the ripe grains, dried them under the sun, cleaned them, and packed them neatly in bags. By evening, everything was ready. Then he visited Shiva and said, "Friend, this is a golden opportunity. Prepare your grains too." Shiva laughed and stretched his legs under the tree. "2 days are a lot. I'll do it tomorrow. Today, the breeze is too good to work." Ram sighed and said, "Opportunities never wait, Shiva." But Shiva didn't listen. 2 days later, Mohanlal returned. He saw Ram's grain bags and his face lit up. "Beautiful, clean and ready. I'll buy all of it." Ram earned a good profit that day. Then the trader walked to Shiva's house. There he found wet, half-prepared, unclean grain. Mohanlal shook his head. "I'm sorry. I cannot buy this. It will cause me loss." Shiva stood silently. For the first time, he felt the weight of his lazy habit. That night, he went to Ram's house and said softly, "I wish I had done my work on time, like you." Ram placed a hand on his shoulder and said gently, "Shiva, time is like flowing water. If you try to hold it later, it slips away. Only the one who values it moves ahead." Months passed. One hot summer afternoon, a huge fire broke out in the forest near the village. The wind pushed the flames rapidly toward Dhimpur. Ram immediately ran to the villagers, shouting, "We have to control the fire now. If we delay even a little, it will reach the village." People panicked. But Shiva again said, "Oh, come on. The fire is far. We'll see tomorrow." But by nightfall, the fire had reached the edges of the village. Several homes caught fire. Ram's house survived because he had already prepared a protective layer of wet soil around it. But Shiva's house turned to ashes. He sat on the ground, staring at the burnt remains, his eyes filled with tears. he realized how deeply his laziness had hurt him. A few weeks later, the king of the nearby city announced, "A grand festival will be held. Whoever brings the most beautiful and useful handmade item will receive wealth and honor." Ram immediately started working. He collected the best wood from the forest and began crafting a beautiful baby cradle. Day and night, he worked with full dedication. Shiva again thought, "There is a lot of time, I'll start later." Days passed, and in the end, Shiva had nothing ready. On the day of the festival, Ram presented his elegant wooden cradle before the king. The king's eyes shone with admiration. "Ram, your hard work and respect for time have impressed me. From today, you will manage the treasury of our city." The entire court clapped for Ram. Far behind, in a quiet corner, Shiva watched. Empty-handed, heart heavy, regret filling his eyes, he finally understood that the biggest loss in life is losing time. Moral of the story: time is the most precious treasure. Once lost, it never returns. Those who say, "I'll do it tomorrow," often spend their life in regret. But those who say, "I'll do it today," are the ones who succeed.